Okay, I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't super hyped about making this video initially because when Samsung launched the new Z Flip 6, it seemed like an incremental upgrade. 8 Gen 2 became 8 Gen 3, 8GB RAM became 12GB RAM. I mean, what will you do with so much RAM anyway? But then I started using it, like really using it for a few days, and surprise, surprise, I was impressed because I have used pretty much every flip phone out there. Flip 3, Flip 4, Flip 5, you name it. But this new Flip 6 is hands down the most polished flip phone I have ever used. And most importantly, it fixes a lot of problems we had with flip phones. What problems am I talking about? Is this phone even worth it? What about AI on the phone? We'll talk about all of these, so stick around till the end of the video, let's go. Now, before we get to the changes, I'll quickly talk about the thing that remains unchanged, unboxing. You get this slim box, you have the phone, some paperwork, Type-C to Type-C cable, and a SIM ejector tool. Alright. And so coming to the phone, I would say there are 3 much needed improvements this year. First of them being the design of the phone. This was last year's Z Flip 5. The back was a fingerprint magnet. Scratches easily, that's because it had a glossy texture, but this time Samsung went with a matte finish. Immediately this looks like an improvement, less fingerprints, and Samsung says they have used something called enhanced armor aluminum. This should also reduce scratches on the frame. But that's not all. If you see both the phones side by side, you'll see an obvious difference. Like the Flip 5 frame is slightly curved, has a glossy finish, and Flip 6 is flatter, boxier, and has a matte finish. Even the overall edges of the phone are less curved, makes the phone feel more grippy, if that's the word. But that's not all. The biggest complaint we all have had with flip phones is protection. They are more fragile compared to other normal phones. I remember last year when I was using the Z Flip 5, I was babying this thing around, keeping it only on a soft surface, not rough handling it. But this time, not that much, because for the first time, flip phone has IP48 rating. And let me explain this IP rating system, because we all know it stands for dust and water resistance. But what's the difference between IP67, 48, 68, and all of that? The most common error is treating those numbers together. It is not 67, rather it is 6 and 7. The first numerical denotes protection against dust particles and the second number denotes protection against water. So if a phone doesn't have any protection, we can say it is IPXX. X means 0 or no protection. This year's Flip 6 has an IP48 rating, meaning it has the same water resistance as last year, but this year you also get some amount of dust protection. Now another improvement is in weight. Like if I put the Flip 5 and the Flip 6 side by side, you'll be like, what are you saying, Pratik? Both weigh the same, right? What's that improvement? But consider this. The Flip 6 now comes with a larger 4000 mAh battery, more on this in just a moment, and it even has a larger camera sensor. And this also has an additional vapor cooling chamber. So technically they have added stuff here, but no, not an increase in weight is an improvement here. Coming back to the cameras, and this was another area where I had complaints. Like Samsung is known for having the best camera in Android smartphones, but they never gave those in the flip phones. Like last year's Z Flip 5 had a 12 megapixel main camera, whereas the Ultra phone had 200 megapixel. However, things are starting to change. 3 major changes in the camera that you get this year. First of all, the Z Flip 6 has a 50 megapixel main camera, and while it may not be as good as the S24 Ultra, it comes very close because we took few pictures from it. The color, sharpness, HDR and all, they are very nice. Samsung's software processing makes picture look slightly poppy, instant social media ready, and these good pictures even continue in low light. The pictures from the Flip 6 come out good. There's only one thing that you can zoom only up to 10x. The photos up until 10x come good. Also, you get a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. Pictures from it are fine. Now, the second change is due to the high-res 50 megapixel camera. There's this auto zoom mode in video which automatically zooms in and out. Very helpful if you're making Instagram stories while you're moving and talking. And talking about Instagram, another small upgrade is you get night mode where you're using Instagram's inbuilt camera app.
And then there are some places that only a flip can reach.
Now you also get a 10 megapixel selfie camera. Photos from it are okay, but come on, this is a flip phone. If I want to take a selfie, I'll keep the phone like this and use the main camera. And even when taking group shots, you can actually use the ultra wide angle lens. Very handy. We have been doing this for the past 1 year.
Coming to videos, you can do 4K 60 FPS on the rear camera as well as front camera.
But now, what's new to camera this time is AI. Like if you press and hold on any video, it goes slow motion. This was introduced with the S24 series and you get that here too. And Samsung is going all in on AI this year 2024 because you get tons of them. Now I can't explain all, else the video will become big and boring, but I'll show you 3 cool AI features here. First is sketch to image, and depending on what you draw or your skill level, it could give good or bad results. Like let me show you. So I'll have this picture, I'll just scribble over the hair and tap generate, and see it has replaced the hair with AI hair. Second would be the new AI interpreter mode. So Sayan here will speak in English and I'll only speak in Hindi. So Sayan, आप स्मार्टफोन में आने वाले आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को 10 में से कितने अंक देना चाहेंगे?
So how many out of 10 points would you like to give artificial intelligence coming into the smartphone?
I would like to give a rating of 7 out of 10.
So what this will do is instantly translate our language and put it on the cover screen. And the good thing is this works offline. You don't need to install anything, and if you're on a trip with on and off mobile network, this thing is a lifesaver. However, by far the most useful AI feature to me is this. So suppose I get a message, and previously on the cover screen you could select only from predefined replies, but now you can actually use AI, which will then generate a reply based on the context of the message. And as per Samsung, it will only use the last 7 messages to understand context. Very handy if you have to reply to someone quickly. Also, while using the Flip, my most interaction was from the outer screen. In fact, I used it as a smart clock on my desk, and an addition is photo ambient mode. So based on the weather outside, it modifies the wallpaper. So I can just look and understand that if it's cloudy outside or it's raining, I can just see it. Neat addition. And the final improvement is in battery. Every year the battery improved little by little, and now we get 4000 mAh battery. Also, since most of the phones can be used via the smaller cover screen, you would eventually be using less of the battery. Like in my use case, I was getting roughly around 1 full day of battery life, which is good for a flip phone. And of course, you even have wireless charging as well as reverse wireless charging, so you can charge your TWS or smartwatch on top of this. Now you load this, I didn't talk about the displays or the performance. Like on the outside you have a 3.4 inch 60Hz OLED display, and on the inside you get a 6.7 inch 120Hz full HD plus OLED panel which can fold, and watching movies is pretty great. Now the crease is a lot reduced since last time, and see, if you're watching something on the screen, it's very hard to see the crease even at extreme angles. But of course, if it folds, it will have a crease. Now that is not that big of a deal, but I thought I should mention it. Coming down to performance, this is a flagship phone, so you get a flagship processor. It comes with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, 12GB LPDDR5 RAM. Like, obviously doing regular stuff, there is no lag or anything, and even if you play a demanding game like Genshin Impact or Devil May Cry, the performance is good. And an interesting trend I'm seeing this year is RAM increase to almost 12GB on all flagship phones, and I believe this is all in preparation for the AI features that you'll get in future. Like running AI on device needs RAM. So yeah, that was our take on the all new Z Flip 6, and like I said in the start, it looked like a small improvement initially, but the more I used it, the more I realized that the upgrades are actually really good. Camera is improved, durability is better, AI implementation is the best compared to other flip phones, and basically you need to hold the Flip to feel that this boxier design makes it feel lightweight. Which brings me to the topic of pricing, and here's where things get interesting, because the starting price of this without any offer is 1,09,099. That's quite a lot of money. But if you can afford it, and if you really want a flip phone, then the Z Flip 6 is the best flip out there. And Samsung is also giving a lot of bank offers and exchange offers exclusive to India. You can check it out from their side. Let us know your thoughts. How much would you spend on a smartphone? And we'll reply to the best ones. And I'll see you in the next one. Pew pew.
Pew 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 pew.